Hey there, welcome back to Fresh Start Budgeting. It is my week 1 check-in of my 12-week year. So let's see how it went. This is my moment of pure transparency. I've actually already tried to record this video. I've sat and tried to figure out how to actually pull this together and make it into something that is actually viewable and would make sense to somebody that just is jumping in and taking a look. I haven't been able to figure that out. When I rewatched it back and was trying to edit it, my editing software is just a freebie thing, and it was not jiving with what I was trying to do, which was really move clips around and do all kinds of stuff. So this is me starting again. Which is okay, because I think walking through this and talking through it is only something that actually helps me at the end of the day, so I'm good with it. Where I'm going to start, just for anybody else who is joining, who didn't see last week's video or didn't watch it because it was incredibly long, I will link it in the description below just in case you decide to take a look. But I am using the 12-week year, the book, to help me in approaching my financial journey. See, I even had to just think how to put those words together. Words are hard. From that, I created out 2 major goals that are attached to my personal life. One of them is integrating the 12-week year into my personal life, and the second one is creating an income allocation of 30% going directly to debts and savings. So both of those goals point towards my larger aspiration goals, which are having freedom of time, having financial freedom, and physical health. Those are my 3 aspirational goals that, you know, the picture of what I want my life to look like. So before I get started on kind of where I am today versus last week, I'm just going to give you that quick overview of the actual week and what we had said we were going to be working towards. I had set out 6 separate tactics. One of them was to consistently read every day, at least 20 pages per day, to schedule out some sort of planning of how I was going to schedule this into my day, the creation and upload of an accountability video, which is what you're watching with me now. Thank you. And then when it came to my 30% to debts and savings, I had put down the completion of my 100 envelope challenge, and actually doing that activity that week, doing meal prep so that my work day could be no spend days and I could be bringing my lunch to the office every day, and then again scheduling out how I actually do my financial activities, the budget with means, the expense tracking, the cash stuffing, scheduling that out so it would be something that I could practically do in the coming weeks and months. So that's where I was. You can see on this board here, there's different red spots. Those are ones where I did not do the activity. The green ones are showing where I did. Now, I think more important than the actual red spots are the things that I've learned through this process and what that actually meant to me. So although you can see for these 7 days, 2 of them I did not, what happened through this was I tried different ways of completing that reading activity. A couple of these days, I tried to do that from home after work on that Monday. When I tried that on the Tuesday, it was a no-go. Okay, on the Wednesday, I tried something different. I read on the bus to work. On Thursday, I did that. That was a no-go. On Friday, I decided that because I'm a morning person and I get to work early, that I would couple that reading with me coming into the office early, making my cup of coffee, sitting down at my desk, getting ready for my day. I would read then. And so I think that that's actually what's going to work moving forward, is that timing and that space and that environment is going to help me continue that particular piece. When it came to the scheduling planning, I'll tell you where those two pieces early in the week actually fell apart. Was that when I sat down to do it, I hadn't had any experience actually going through these activities, and so I was feeling really just lost in the grand scheme of things of how to sit down and do that. I was also trying to transition my mind, the thinking from how activities are scheduled in a work day to now this is like my personal life. This is how I choose to use my time. And it's not necessarily in block schedules of, you know, I do emails at this time and I make contacts or work on strategic activities at this time. This is different. So I needed some time to kind of process that and process how to view it differently. And so that's what I was able to do when I took the time to try the different things during the week and then sit down on the Saturday and actually go through that. So this gives you that good snapshot. This meal prep piece. Meal prep was fine. It actually worked through this whole period. Where I fell down on Thursday, it was actually just a stressful day. You can kind of see the red cascading through there. And I wanted to get out, and it's already getting cold in Canada, and so the place to go was to walk to a local cafe and get something to eat. So it's here that when I sit back and I review that, it's like, it's not so much about the food. It's not even about like spending the money or wanting to spend the money or not wanting to spend it. It was about, I need something else I could do during that period where I need that break that is not related to going out to another area and doing those kinds of activities. So this gives you kind of that just overlook of how the week went. Now, the next piece that I want to share is what happened when I actually sat down to do the scheduling and when I was trying to, you know, really pull my thoughts together about how everything was working together. So it's a little bit more, I find it a little bit more challenging talking through this piece of it, but we're going to give it a go. Okay. When I sat down and I was looking at, what is that? Don't even know. I don't even know. Okay. When I sat down and I was looking at that aspirational goals, my freedom of time, my financial freedom, and my physical health. Right now, my, you know, those prime 12-week goals are related to the freedom of time and financial freedom. The physical health is almost like a indirect recipient of the other activities that I'm doing right now. But, you know, I do realize this is aspirational. I was talking about largely being able to have my own business kind of situation, not be worrying about living paycheck to paycheck, all of that. But when I sat and really thought about it, I realized, you know what? Everything that I'm trying to do right now it's still within these same concepts, right? The freedom of time. What am I prioritizing? What am I deciding is important for me to be doing and thinking about at this time? The financial freedom, you know, I want that freedom of being able to say where my money's going, not being worried from paycheck to paycheck. That's exactly what I'm putting in the structure of writing down all my expenses or doing a budget with me video. It's the same big goal, right? So seeing that and making that link more closely, even though we made those links when we created the aspirational, the 3-year vision, and then the 12-week goals, just sitting and realizing that even these activities that I'm choosing to do right now, that's about my freedom of time. That's about what I'm choosing is important to me today. So I just, you know, may not be enlightening to you, but it was enlightening to me in the moment. Okay, so the next piece that I thought about, oops, upside down now, in that same kind of grain of thought was about then, okay, in that freedom of time And I'm thinking about, right, so I definitely want to be doing things that are continuing to pursue learning. So the reading the books, the watching YouTube videos, learning from other creators, all of that is an opportunity to learn. Though that's why I'm prioritizing those particular activities. Reinforcing habits. So finding when something specifically is going to work for me. It's not just reading those 20 pages a day. You know, I can keep my eyes open at 10 o'clock at night before I go to bed and just so I can check it off. But that's not really reinforcing the habit of what it is that I'm doing. So it's finding that particular time and space that when I do that, that makes sense, and it's something that's going to be something I can repeat moving forward. That creating piece, I sat here and I went, okay, I've got my 100 envelope challenge as a 12-week goal. That goal is going to wrap up end of October, beginning of November. So what am I doing next? How am I going to identify and figure out and create, if I want to, the next savings challenge so that it's something that continues to inspire and push me forward in that kind of thinking. Okay. So when it came to that reinforcing habits and also thinking about what works for a particular day, a particular habit that you're trying to create, I went back to something that I had worked with somebody else on, which was these 4 factors of decision fatigue. So being presented with a choice of either doing this or having the willpower and the requirement to go ahead and do this, which is what you're trying to create in this new habit. There's these 4 things that can help you. It's not going to make it, you know, easy as pie, but it's going to help in kind of making sure that you are doing the thing that is what you are pursuing to do. So the 4 things, and hopefully I can explain this better than that, but the 4 things are: make it obvious, make it repeatable, make it easy, and make it enjoyable. So if we take the reading, make it enjoyable. So clearly, I'm not going to pick a book or a subject or anything else that is not enjoyable to me, that I'm not interested in, that doesn't catch my attention, that doesn't give me some sort of worth back. I'm not going to select that. So create something that's enjoyable. If you're trying to start a exercise routine and you hate running, don't commit to running every day. If you really enjoy swimming, commit to swimming 3 times a week, right? Like it's, you know, you don't have to pick the worst possible thing just because that appears to be the thing that's going to get you there. Okay. Make it obvious. Make it an obvious choice. So with the meal prepping, if you have the food, you've purchased the right foods, you've got all the containers ready to go, you've got the kitchen clean, the obvious choice is to do the meal prep. And the obvious choice when you're sitting down to eat lunch is to eat the food that's there ready for you, not to order out, right? So make that choice the obvious run. Make it repeatable. You don't have to recreate something every single day just because you've said that you're going to bring your lunch to work every day, right? Make it something that can be done over and over again. It's not something you have to relearn or sit down and figure out all over again. And then make it easy. So, for example, with my book, if I leave my book upstairs in a locked room and I need to go get the key to be able to go read it, I'm probably not going to do it because it requires 3 different steps for me to do it. But if I have the environment already set up, I've attached it perhaps to something else I already do, like making coffee. When I make my coffee, I'm going to read my book. Those are things that you can put together so that the habit becomes something that's more attainable than just something that I'm going to white knuckle through. So one piece that really stuck out to me when I was reading my book this week was something that was related to this. So, and it's about that kind of establishing kind of habits and processes and all that kind of thing. Not exactly speaking to what I'm talking about, but it definitely highlights some of this, so that without structural and environmental support, follow through becomes a constant exercise of willpower. Relying on willpower occasionally can work. Willpower has a fatigue factor, and as we've all experienced, sometimes we have the willpower and sometimes we don't. So that's, something that happens at the beginning of every year in creating New Year's resolutions or goals, is that you start out really well. People sign up for the gym, they go to the gym, they do the thing, and then February comes and they stop. They've lost the willpower. The white knuckling through and just holding on and saying, I'm going to do it because I said I'm going to do it, is not something that's sustainable over a long period of time. People that can do that, more power to you. I'm not one that can do that. I already know it. I already know what the signs and symptoms of my failures are. So that's another piece that I kind of wanted to put front and center in my mind, was those particular thoughts. These kind of follow me everywhere. I've got them posted up in my office. I've got them, on my phone. I wanted to put them here too, because they really bring those thoughts and ideas together on, don't make it more difficult on yourself than you need to, because you don't need to be anybody's hero. I don't need to be anybody's hero. I just need to see myself through. So overall, I'm going to say that this week was a success, right? It's not all green, and I don't think any week is going to be all green. There's always going to be situations that pop up, things that don't work the way that you think they're going to. But I think what made this week a success is that it did give me the time and space to think about how I was going to do this, to see what would work, what doesn't work, and how to adjust that. And it also reminds me that this is my 12-week goal. This isn't something that I have to have totally figured out in week number 1. This is something that I need to give myself that time to do, right? My 12-week goal is that I integrate the 12-week year into my personal life. So it's okay that I don't have it all figured out today. Okay. It giving yourself that time to sit down and sketch things out allows you to kind of see those big picture things of, how do I need to approach this differently? What is it that's going to work? What's not working? And why? And so that's what I really appreciated about this week, is that all those activities, they were all intentional, but they also all led me to the same conclusion about being able to try things, assess how they go, and if it's not the way that it's going to work, then change it, right? Do it differently. Don't try to stick yourself into that round hole when you're the square peg. Like, make it easy for yourself. So anyways, I'm not sure if that's what I expected to happen during this first week, but that's what's happened. And so I'm okay with it. And I just want to say again that I appreciate so much the people that follow me through my journey, who are so encouraging, beyond encouraging, in the things that I try and I attempt, and sometimes works and sometimes fails. And then people as well who, comment, have you thought about doing this, or have you missed this? And that, I honestly is some of the best feedback that I can get, because there have been things that people have said that I go, oh yeah, I need to think about that more. I need to change my approach towards that. And here's how I could do it. So I just want to thank everybody. I appreciate everyone for comments and people that have subscribed. This has been it's an awesome journey, and being able to watch you in your journey is something I really enjoy. So if you have a channel, you've been a silent watcher, please comment so I can give you a follow as well, and encourage you on your journey. Just want to thank you for coming along with me today, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye guys.